until we get answers. Alright, so please let's be orderly. I know everybody's angry and mad. I'm the same. We've had a lot of contributions and assistance from the community, the CPF, everybody. I'm grateful. We're working as a team, we're a collective, and from here on we can just improve. So this is very constructive. I'm glad to have the MMC here. I think there can be a lot done after this meeting as well. So I'm going to leave it to Councillor Smith to quickly open with a prayer, and then I'll continue. Thanks.
Thank you, Freddie. Just you can sit down. You're welcome. Okay. Sometimes we say hold the neighbour's hand. Maybe it's a way of communication with us in this meeting today. But I'll stand here and also say in part of English and part of in Afrikaans, because we speak to God. So let's close our eyes. Thank you, Lord, that we know that you are here in the presence of us. And we ask you to bless us here in the meeting. We ask you to assist us with knowledge and the Holy Spirit, that He will guide us and also give the information how we can solve this problem in the community. Thank you, Lord, that we can come to you as our God and ask you to be with us. Every house, and Lord, where people suffered in this 14 days without power and some food, please, we ask you to provide for us in a certain way, and thank you that you overlook us. Here baie dankie vir die geleentheid en ons bid op seën op die vergadering, op die voorsitter, maar dat ons hier vanaf sal gaan en ons probleme sal oplos en ons hande is by u, Here, dat u vir ons sal lei en die nodige sal gee. Ons bid vir elkeen teenwoordig hier, elke huis, elke persoon wat as gevolg van die kragonderbreking is gelei het, Here. Dankie dat ons na u toe kan gaan. Aan u alle eer en prys en loof u naam. Thank you, Lord, that we can ask you to bless us at this meeting. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. It's always good to open with a prayer with all Christians here, and I believe we will all behave today. Before I continue, well, more or less, before I continue, I need to introduce a couple of people. First of you met Councillor Franz Smith, Ward 52, Councillor Benjamin Lawrence, if you can just rise, Ward 43. I'm Councillor Freddie Pinar, Ward 87. Then I want to introduce the MMC, Mr. Franz, or Councillor Franz Moschillo, and then Dr. what's the Dr. Ndebo from the Electricity Department. Before I hand over to the officials and authorities to brief us on what transpired here exactly, I would like to ask one or two questions. I'm not going to ask the questions that the community will ask. And obviously there are questions in terms of food sources, in terms of remuneration, what they lost. A lot of people had losses here. There's a lot of poor people depending on SASA, and that's a large concern. We need to address that. And but I'm going to leave that to the community. So I'm just going to touch on what I think. And I'm here to look for a solution. I want a solution to prevent this from happening in future as well. This could have been prevented. I've got a couple of questions. The one is, what happened to the budget of upgrading the ring feed line from Kuduspoort up to the points where it feeds into the medium voltage lines? There was a budget allocated, there was a plan, it was presented in March 2025 by my party as well. The budget allocation was removed, and we voted against that budget as a collective, the DA and myself as a councillor, because I feel strongly that upgrades in this area is essential to prevent these things from happening. I don't know exactly what caused the outage, but I can for certain say that it's because of negligence and the lack of upgrading of infrastructure. This could have been prevented. And in my honest opinion, with my very little knowledge of electricity that I've accumulated over the years, out of experience with speaking to officials on the ground, I know for a fact that with all the electricity infrastructure, there is always two supply lines. There's one that's live, and then there's a ring feed or a bypass line that's there as a standby. If something like this happens, they can always connect to the bypass line or the ring feed. In this case, it could not happen. It was quickly attended at Kuduspoort, I must say. They responded quickly, that was resolved. The high voltage was resolved. Medium voltage had a lot of faults on it because of that. But my question is, what happened to the ring feed line? If that was still active and live, a lot of these people would not be sitting without electricity for 14 days today. 15 days. So I understand there's in between we've got problems. There's line faults that occurred because of that. That's something that can be dealt with. But the majority of the community could have been with electricity within a shorter period of time. That's the one thing. So I would like from my side, and I humbly request that, some feedback on that, and some in-depth information as to why that budget allocation was removed, and why it's not upgraded. Then secondly, I want to formally request today, and I hope it's minuted, because I would like to take this information that's communicated now and distribute it to the community so everybody can be informed. Because not everybody is able to be here today, and not everybody will know what is said here. So we need that in writing. I believe there's one of our community members making a recording. We'll do a summary of what transpired here today. So formally, I would like to ask, and just for information, and I'm not sabotaging this meeting that's specific for Eastern people, please don't take me wrong. But I just want to inform you that my community in my ward, in Roodeplaat, Sable Hills and Leeuwfontein are also sitting without electricity for the 6th day now. So the same thing is happening on that side. And I requested a report last year, November, which I have not received. I called quarterly public meetings, which none of the officials attended to give answers. They exposed me as a councillor. They exposed all of us as councillors. These regional channels are not efficient, MMC. The channels are not efficient. Communication, informative communication, detailed communication with timelines and explanation of what the issue is needs to be communicated to us as councillors. We are democratically elected representatives of a community because the majority of the people here voted for us. They look into my eyes to get answers. If I do not get it, then I'm the one that's in the front line, getting all the flack, not sleeping, begging officials to give me feedback so I can just update my community. I drove around here, I went to every single site, made an assessment myself by speaking to officials just to give the community feedback. If I did not do that, nobody would have known what happened. I mean, this is just a tick box exercise on the channel, on the so-called official channel. It's a tick box exercise. The only thing that I'm told there is XYZ streets are off, XYZ streets are on. We all know it. We are the affected people. We know where it's on and where it's off. What we don't know is, why is it off? What are they doing about it? What's the time frame? What are they going to do to help the people when the water's off, when there's no food? That's what I want to know. So people, I'm getting a bit hot under the collar, but that's my point of view. I'm here not only for votes, I'm here for the people. That's why I'm standing here. That's why I'm out in the streets. That's why I'm trying to give constructive feedback on a daily basis. So I'm going to close with that. All cell phones be off, please. Don't behave like me and get angry about things. I ask you nicely, I will be chairing. So if you raise your hand, you will be noted and you will be granted an opportunity to say what you want to say. Lastly, MMC, I want in writing today a commitment. I don't know if there's any of the people from Leeuwfontein and Roodeplaat here present today. There they are. I want a commitment today that a similar meeting like this, with information detailed, what is going to happen with the Pumalani line, the BP line, and the area of Roodeplaat that's sitting without electricity, jeopardizing critical infrastructure like the wastewater treatment plant, the water treatment plant, the prison services, to name a few. If the electricity is off for a prolonged of time, it's only a matter of time before people sit without water, because the Roodeplaat water treatment plant can't provide water to the reservoir, then it runs dry. In addition to that, the wastewater treatment plants, if they're not fully operational, they're on maximum capacity, which by the way, I've asked for an upgrade on the IDP for those as well. So if they're not functional, there's effluent overflow of raw sewage into the very same catchment system where they need to extract the water for purifying for drinking purposes. So if the electricity is off, the sewage is going into the dam. The purifying plant can't keep up with the demand, and soon people sit without water. Now you ask the question, why did the water smell like ammonia? There's your answer. It's because of sewage in a dam. So it's an environmental issue, it's becoming a health issue, and it's affecting the local community and the economy at large. Local businesses cannot operate like that. One of our main income sources in terms of property rights, etc., is in Baai Ward. That's people staying in Sable Hills and Leeuwfontein. They are weekly without electricity. I'm telling you, weekly. And I'm the person facing them all. Without any constructive answers from the director of Region 5, which, by the way, I want to be removed, MMC. I want someone there with the will and the knowledge to do something about the issue within the region. I've driven this issue from the bottom to the top. We submitted a petition last year in council. It went to petition committee. None of the officials arrived. None of them attended. It was postponed until this year. So we still don't have an answer. A year later. And the same is happening here. There's a lot more issues in this area. But it's not a discussion for today. And I believe the issue is not the electricity only. It's a lack of will, a lack of maintenance, a lack of budget, and illegal developments that's taking place in this area. Illegal connections does not deter. The sewer lines are flooded because now there are 30, 40 people living on a residential one property where 4 people are supposed to be staying. And I don't want to generalize and say, oh, everybody's criminals. But I can tell you for a fact that undocumented residents or people from other countries also live in the backyards there, and they are robbing our people. Thank you. I'm not going to say any more. I think I've said a lot. But I want in writing a commitment now, a date and a time for a meeting with the Roodeplaat, Leeuwfontein, Sable Hills, Derdepoort people to explain what we are doing about the electricity infrastructure in my ward as well, excluding this one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor. I'm tempted to respond, but I'm not going to respond now. There will be the time when we'll get questions from the community here. I think I came here to engage you, and we are going to be engaged. I'll be listening to you, and I trust that you always listen to what I'm going to say as well. Yes. Firstly, let me greet you, the residents of East Lane and Jan Newman Park. That's the brief that I have, that I'm going to meet the residents of Jan Newman Park and the East Lane. And also let me also greet the councillors present here and officials from the city of Tshwane, led by the group head of Energy and Electricity Business Unit, and compliment for the new seasons. My name is Franz Michielo, MMC for Utility Services. I'm responsible for energy and electricity and water and sanitation. My key responsibility as far as the energy and electricity is concerned is to ensure that you receive a reliable supply of electricity efficiently and effectively, and also to ensure that all the residents of Tshwane are having access to electricity. Thanks for the privilege bestowed upon me to engage with you on this thorny and sensitive matter of a power outage that has lingered on for a solid 15 days to date. It's a solid issue. This electricity is a very sensitive issue. That is why I don't want to politicize it. I'll make sure that I follow to the script. It is totally unacceptable for the residents to have to endure such a power outage for such a prolonged period. We have come to engage with you honestly, frankly and truthfully, to share with you the background to this outage and also explain to you the measures we have put in place to turn around the situation, and ultimately to empathize with you and offer our sincere apology. An apology will not erase the damage you have suffered and the food you have thrown away and the pain you have endured and being without power for such a long time. Businesses have lost hundreds of thousands of rand, if not millions. Most of you have had to dig deep into your pockets to buy takeaway food. This outage has certainly drained your financial resources. When everybody was enjoying festive periods, you had to contend with darkness. We are not oblivious to the unpalatable, unsavory experience we wish we could erase, or wish we could wake up from slumber and realize that this was all a nightmare, a bad dream. Unfortunately, this is a reality that is still the case today. You have been without power for 15 consecutive days, and I profusely offer my heartfelt apology from the deepest bottom of my heart. Against German, I'm sorry. Let me briefly sketch a background of what happened on that fateful day of Friday, 26 December 2025. The Kutusport substation experienced an unanticipated electrical fault which led to a fire that damaged a lot of critical equipment at the substation. That fire plunged a few areas, including Jan Leemans Park and Easted, into darkness. We had to assemble a team of technicians at short notice to begin the odious task of repairing the substation. As you know, during the festive period, most city offices go on recess except the essential service departments. Even the essential service personnel work with skeleton staff. As some of the personnel take deserved leave to go to their homes, some to far-flung areas, to get some rest and also enjoy holidays with their families and come back energized and rejuvenated. The critical equipment at the substation suffered serious damages that were beyond repairs, which means that we had to procure new equipment. In other ways, we had to replace the damaged equipment with the new one. Despite this, we managed to restore power to 50% of the affected consumers. Subsequent to the restoration of power to 50% of consumers, we undertook the following steps. We tried to repair the cables in order to energize 19 medium voltage boxes or mini substation, but we kept encountering cable faults. By Monday, the 5th January 2026, we had succeeded to repair some of the faulty cables and restore power to 70% of the consumers. The teams toiled overnight and repaired additional cables in the early hours of Tuesday and increased the restoration to 80% of the consumers. On Wednesday, the 7th January 2026, the Tshwane Energy and Electricity Business Unit took an extraordinary step by appointing a private contractor to bolster and augment the internal capacity with a view to accelerating the repair of the multiple cable faults and restoring power to Eastern and Jellyman's power consumers. The contractor has knuckled down to work and already begun excavation and drilling to prepare for the replacement and laying of approximately 1 kilometer new cable. This cable will energize the outstanding 5 of the 19 mini substations. The drilling will entail, amongst others, the delicate act of laying of a cable underneath the Babian's cold road surface. The contractor is treating carefully during the drilling by scanning the surface first to check if there is no water, sewer, or electricity servitude and avoid damaging any servitudes. This in itself is time-consuming. The internal capacity is still continuing to trace faults on the cable network with a view to repairing it. The city's efforts have gained momentum to complete the repair work on the outstanding cable faults before full power restoration can be realized. The appointment of the contractor has added the necessary impetus to the repairs and restoration process. We have also recalled personnel from Waldroop depots who were still on leave and were due to return to work on the 15th of January 2026. We issued a source to them to return immediately, and they obliged, for they understood and appreciated the gravity and magnitude of this power outage. We also acknowledge that our communication to the community has not been consistent, and at times it was too technical for the affected communities to comprehend. We will communicate 3 times a day in a simple and understandable language. according to the plan. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, power should be restored to all consumers by Sunday, 11 December 2026. Let me once more reiterate the city's profound apology. Let us have meaningful and civil engagement which will pave the way to full power restoration to our cherished residents of Jandiman Park and East Lane who have suffered enough already. Let there be power. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC. I think, is there any of the officials that still needs to comment or update?
No, as I've said that I've been accompanied by technical officials who will be able to assist me in answering technical questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MMC, and thank you everybody for behaving. I'm going to take the hands, but before I do that, I apologize sincerely. I've got another councillor in our midst. If there's any other councillor that I have not introduced, please rise and just, introduce yourself. We've got a Freedom Front councillor here. Please, if you could just let the people know.
I need to, and this is not a question just to the City of Tshwane officials. This is overall to the community, to my fellow councillors, to everyone. Why are normal citizens being used as pawns in a political game that's being played currently in the City of Tshwane? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. I just want to make it clear, I'm not politicizing everything. I was raising facts and I want answers on that. Thank you. Anyone else? I'm going to take the hands. When you received the mic, please be brief. Don't repeat the question that's already asked. And please just kindly state your name so everybody knows for minute purposes. Where shall we start? Let's start in this row, then we move to that side. So I'm going to start from the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, and then going to the back. Okay, just be brief, thank you.
Thank you, Freddie. My name is Andres. I hear you, MMC, but the problem is we need to know what caused the fault at first. That needs a report. And secondly, we need to establish in Jandiman Park and Eastland a task team that deals with cable theft. A task team that needs to come out here and address cable theft, because those issues are also the one that caused. And the second thing is that the problem of the residents that is having a lot of rooms at the back. There can be also investigation part of that, can come in and go house to house and see whether those residents are complying with the law in terms of dwelling. And then there's another thing that I also want to suggest is that there is a disaster fund. This is a disaster. We need to work on that fund, and also, and I will suggest to the electricity. There's people that needs to pay today, tomorrow, to pay the electric bill. Let's keep that on hold till we have a report out and on what. We're not going to pay till we have a report, because we have to now pay, and then we lost food, we lost equipment, and so that's double our purpose. We're not going to pay our bills now for now. That's what I will suggest, that we can keep the bills for now till we have that report coming out. Thank you.
Thank you. It's noted from my side, and I'm sure from the official side as well. I'm not going to respond to that. I'm going to leave it to the officials to respond. But yes, I agree with the informal or illegal building. I also agree with the cable theft, because that's one of the reasons why there's weak points in the system here. Right, we're moving to the next one. We've got it there. Thank you. Nine, quickly.
Good day, Minister. My name is Kunai. I'm a community member. I've got a question. We have been calling for people from Tshwane to come and address us since Sunday. But yet, yesterday in Esselis, they had big riots, also peaceful. Why no one came to ours, but rather go address where it's violence, where we had peaceful riots? Thank you.
Thank you. I want to comment the community once again for behaving and having peaceful, it's not a riot, it's a protest. And you made a statement, so thank you for that. Next one, thank you.
Good morning, I'm Pet Mulu. I'm from Yangimanpa. My issue with the power. Was you people didn't even come once to address us what is really happening. And we were frustrated. And another thing is, you never even thought of people that's got medication that should go in a fridge. People that's diabetic. You never thought of that. You never thought of coming to us or just send a message to us. Where should those people go and put their medication in a cool place? You never thought of people that's on oxygen. On oxygen. You never thought of that. Because while you comfortable, you okay there where you are. What happened to the budget that was redirected to fix all this shit? What happened to it? It's stolen. And we are fed up. Just look how Eastern dirty, filthy. You, Mr. of the Water and Sanitation. We've got no water. What happened to the water today? Because we've got no water. What happened? And if there is no water, when the water is cut off, you come with trucks. You stay here in the community. How the hell do you think, oh, pensioners must walk till here? Why can't you go street for street and take 4 houses and stop there until everybody fill their containers, and then you move forward? We cannot walk, because by the time I get home, my water is finished. So what's the use? I walked all the way. There's poor people here, very poor people, that we have to see to. And I beg this community, we must stand together. It doesn't matter which color you are. We must stand together.
Hello, my name is Lynne. I'm also residing in Yangimanpa. With regards to the Eastland illegal connections, last year I had an issue, and I can identify those houses where there's this one guy who's owning a lot of property here in Eastland, who is from Tanzania. I also send WhatsApp messages to our councillor, Freddie Pinar, if you can remember that, Franz Smith. And then I was then advised to go to Tshwane. When I got to Tshwane, we saw that this guy who's from Tanzania is using a South African guy to buy all these properties, and also in Silverton. Thereafter, they referred me to the TMPD or what? Yeah, to Mamelodi. When I got there, I was then referred to send an email to the higher up there. So when I got a message from them, and then they said, no, this was already sorted because the guy received a 2,000 rand fine. How is that? I have all the communication, and if someone can just give me an email address, I'm going to send you that email that I received that communication from. People are taking, it's about 45 residents in one yard, and it's 2 or 3 in Eastern. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. Before we continue, I'm going to allow a limited amount of questions, then we allow the officials to respond. So I think I'm going to allow that gentleman and then you, sir. All right, let's allow those two and then we allow some answers. And so
Good morning.
Can,
Good morning. My name is Ricky. Hi, I'm here at the back. Hello, can you see me? Anybody? There's nobody paying attention. Hello, hi. Can you pay attention to us first? First of all, I want to say thank you for finally being here. The two who came a half an hour late, thank you, you are duly noted. And secondly, the politicians over there that weren't a part of anybody or part of anything up until now, you are also duly noted. First question, as the women there did clarify, you guys gave a report, you didn't explain what exactly made the occurrence happen. We'd like to understand what exactly happened. For 4 substations to go down in one day. Streetlights are working during the day. But at night there's not one light on. So this is redundant, but please, lights and warmth is there. Secondly, clinic. The clinic desperately needs an upgrade. If we can just get a simple generator for the clinic, that would also be suffice. Roads. We've been told that there's people taking care of roads in Eastland, but that's a lie. There's a whole lot of potholes. The roads are literally falling apart. Hello? Sorry, again. Could you please pay attention? Is everybody taking notes? Or each of you taking notes? One person taking notes is fine. We do know how meetings work. So, grass cutting, we've also been told that grass, man, you came late, you don't have time, we don't have time for your attitude, you must just be listening. Another thing, then grass doesn't get cut anymore. People are hiding inside the grass, they're burning stolen copper cables in this.
Frankie, just before you continue, if you don't mind, please, people, let's have some order here. I understand that.
One more question.
Yes, I'm going to allow you.
This is my last question. The last question is, and it's exactly what you guys have been showing to us exactly here. Yes. We have absolutely no respect from Tshwane at the moment. When we are busy. When we are busy peacefully protesting, we have police coming there to intimidate the people. But when there's crime taking place, zero. All police there. And to say we are tired is an understatement. The real word is hurtful. We are hurtful. And the next thing is you're going to start seeing non-peaceful riots. Let me rather just leave the...
Thank you. Please, before we continue, sir, before we continue, we'll have an open public meeting to discuss additional things. Let's please stay focused on the topic today, which is electricity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pinar. I'm Mr. Masambo from Lindo Park. With the sport, we are as much as affected the way you have been affected. Hence, that is why I felt that I must come. And let us deal with the cause. It's of no use to insult each other. Because at the end of the day, these people will move out of this place having not reached the solution. And we are the people that are suffering on the ground. So let's engage with these people meaningfully so that they must, immediately when they leave this place, they must attend to our problems. We are sick of this problem. And we're saying enough is enough. People are dying. Yes. People are dying because of some of our residents, people rely on oxygen. And for them to have oxygen, they must have electricity. And we have lost a lot of money due to unavailability of electricity. So let us look at the cause. What is the cause? I'm happy you have identified the root cause of this collapse of electricity. You have said it that everything emanates from good sport. I'm from good sport. And if good sport falls, collapse, all power stations collapse. So we must come up with a solution, the strategy. And one other thing, some of the people have already said undocumented foreigners that are in our houses, that have rented our houses. And some of us here, we are the cause of that. In one household, you find 14, 15 people in the same yard, and illegal connection in the same yard. And that, let me tell you, and that it stresses our station. And as a result, that is why we find now and then our station is on fire. Must go and sort it out. Must go and sort it out. And then lastly, City of Tshwane. I'm told that there was a budget. Let that budget made available. Let that budget made available because of, for you to have that budget, it is because of our race and taxes that we are paying. It's our money. Let's have to utilize our money. You are seated, and I've addressed this with my councillor, Smith. The street lights that are not functioning at night. And when the street lights are not functioning at night, there is a cable theft. There is cable theft. I've also addressed with Smith the potholes. So, in a nutshell, we don't have services in City of Tshwane. Let's address our services in City of Tshwane. Illegal taverns. People sit on taverns until 2 a.m. And when we are asleep, they go and steal the cable theft. This is undocumented illegals. Thank you so much.
Thank you. People, I'm going to allow the officials to respond quickly because there's a lot of questions, and then we'll open up again. I just want to kindly and humbly ask, please stick to the topic, which is electricity currently now. We will address the rest of them, believe me. And let's limit the time. Please, 2 questions or so per person, briefly, otherwise we're not going to get through everyone. So I kindly ask that of you. Let's allow the officials to respond to the questions that's raised, and then we'll continue. Thank you. Thank you. The MMC indicated that we can take half of the hall and then we'll go from there. So where's the official taking the microphone? Please keep it short. Let's go through the half of this side and then we'll continue with that side. Thank you.
Thank you. The name is Lynne, residing in Eastland. MMC, I say this with all due respect. What you read there from your computer was already communicated to us. You say nothing new to us. Nothing that you read is new to us. Even that of the Watlu sending stuff, it was on this morning's communication. So you have said to us nothing new. My first question would be, sir, in the communications that have been communicated to us through this power outages, a lot has been mentioned about old and aging infrastructure. We that buy houses here in Eastland also bought old houses, but we maintain it. We buy paint, we paint our houses, the roofs, we maintain it. What is City of Tshwane doing about maintenance on the power stations? And the question of budget has been raised already by 3 people now. Can you please indicate to us why have the budget for the maintenance and upgrading of the power station been removed? And this question is for the person in charge of electricity, the engineer. We have a very active community member here. He reports street lights out for 2 years continuously. Some of them is even for more than 2 years. And you know what is the saddest part? For each complaint, he have a reference number. For 2 years, In other words, there's one full budget going, and that street light that he has reported had not been resolved. So can you please give us answers on those two questions? First one, why has the budget been removed for the upgrading and maintenance of the power station? And secondly, why for 2 years, if a community member report a street light outages, no attention is been given to it? Thank you.
Thank you, that's constructive. Let's not repeat the same question, please, people. So, next one, please. Thank you.
Thank you and good afternoon, everybody. Nake Mapito, Kidula Kamo Yanniman Park. My questions are monetary related. The first point, please make the budget available for the workers so that they can be paid overtime. We were struggling because people were complaining and saying that you have rerouted the finances to another project or whatever. The second issue, the MMC, from the speech that you read out to us, it is true that it has been there before. We have seen the information from ESP and our WhatsApp groups. Now, one important question is, since we have incurred costs which we did not even plan for, how are you going to reimburse us? I'm sitting here, look at me please. I'm sitting here. These are the receipts for the diesel that I've been paying. I want my money back.
Thank you. Please limit to 1 minute if you can. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Desiree van Rooyen. My question is this, the street lights. In Dynam Street, the street lights have not been worked in how many ages? And then I also want to know who is going to replace my fridge that I lost, as I have medication that has to remain in the fridge. So who's going to replace my fridge that I have lost due to this power failure? And that is all. Thank you.
Hi guys, it's Dion. I'm from Newfontaine and St. Leon's area. I want to know, when you restore power or attend to problems that's been identified, you most probably prioritize those based on voters. I have to tell you that I'm in the same group where most of the residents and businesses are in that area. As all of these guys here, they are ratepayers and taxpayers, they pay for electricity and water. I can see on the cards a tax revolt coming. I can see it's coming. Your rates and taxes are coming from the income, your salary is coming from rates and taxes that's being paid by the community here, not by voters. So be warned. It's not really a question, it's a statement. Better prioritize correctly because you might sit without a salary soon.
Thank you. Where's the mic?
Good day. My name is Sweetie and I work for a church. We've got a funeral tomorrow. Yesterday, the power was on. This morning that power is off. The people is coming all the way from Leopold to have a big funeral. How must we do it at the church? The people of the church is coming to want some food. We give out food monthly. We already give out all the food. Where must we get it? And where is the mayor that she don't come? If it was Leon Brink, he was here long ago. The electricity will be on long ago. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Rolof van Rooyen. I'm also staying in Eastland. My question are, where is the COT people when we ask them to come fix a cable from last December until now? I'm talking about Papagai, Royal Skoppie, Janie Piscal, half of it doesn't have power. And we report it every day. I want to use a curse word, but I can hold myself in. So, my question is again, where is the COT people if we call them and they doesn't respond? And every time when we ask this question, is every day the damn answer. So, please, ask me that question, please.
Good day, everybody. My name is John Leclerc. I'm a very obedient citizen of City of Tshwane. You guys can even go check now my bill. And this makes me very hot in my chest. I would like to know, in this South Africa, if you are not fit for the position, then you need to be removed from that office. Now my questions follow. I only do have 3 questions. What measurements are you being taken? You as the MNC, what measurements are you taking to address the aging infrastructure? Secondly, how will you communicate to be improved during future outrages? Like, for an example, and I'm very adamant because I'm staying 2 houses here from the clinic. Here is not even a backup generator as yet. Thirdly, what investments are you planning for renewable energy and grid in the moderation? Because people are growing, no? So there will be influx of people. So, no, I don't know. So you guys need to make plans for, because you are young people that is growing up. No? So, previously, maybe in 1968, you was 248 households. Now here are 1,000 households. Do you get what I'm saying? I thank you. So, MEC, please, my concern is about what can you do as the MEC, at least to take care of the senior citizens that needs health care here at the clinic. I spoke to Councillor Pina by saying, what is the possibility at least for a generator? Because I'm from government, and you need to deviate so that at least our senior citizens and people that are ill, that they can get treatment. I thank you.
Thank you. Once again, let's try and limit the questions and not repeat the same question. And also, I'm not going to restrict you in time, but please keep it short. There's a lot of people that wants to ask questions. And lastly, I commit to attend to the generator issue at the clinic. Thank you.
Mr. Chairperson, I'm sorry that I arrived late. I did not hear the presentation. But I noted the following things. One, that you are a new administration, and that some of the issues that were raising, you have inherited from the previous administration. That's the first thing that I'm noting. For instance, the issue of street lights. I think the current administration have inherited it from the previous administration. Because when you ask questions, especially about the issue of street lights, we're always told that there's no budget. So now I'm requesting from this new administration
that they must make sure that there's enough budget, especially for issues of street lights, to avoid all the problems that have been raised. The other issue is that with the previous administration, this area has been divided between Region 3, I think, and Region 5. So there was that confusion where some of the problems must be reported to Region 3, some must be reported to Region 5. So I'm just requesting that that must be corrected. The last question. I came here in 2003, and something like this have never happened. It's very much unprecedented. Now I'm requesting, I don't know, I did not hear the presentation, but I want you to check with the technician whether there's no suspicion of any sabotage on this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just quickly, in response with regards to the regional boundaries, that's determined by the service point within a certain area. So if Region 3 has got a reservoir in their area that supplies water here, they take responsibility for it. There's clarity, and it's 3, 5, and 6. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Peter Daniels. In your opening statement, sir, Mr. MMC, in your opening statement you said there was a lack of maintenance. So my question to you, is there a plan to up the maintenance of the electrical infrastructure? That's number one. Number two, the lack of skills from the technicians coming out and doing fault finding. Is there a plan from your department, Mr. Electricity, to upgrade the skills of the technicians that come in to do the fault finding? Thank you.
The skills is a good point, but please don't repeat another question about the upgrade, because I think it's asked a lot of times. But thank you for that, sir. Thank you. Next.
Good day. How are you, my good people? I think City of Tshwane, is either they're playing mind games or something like that. My question is, they said they replaced those equipments there by substation. Question number one is, who replaced those equipment? Is it the contractor or was it the City of Tshwane? If it is a contractor who replaced that thing, you must know that next year we're going to have the same problem. I know. Because if it's a tender, it's going to happen again. So number two, this one goes to councillors. You know, lack of electricity goes with crime. I have a question to the councillors, all the councillors. Who is running VCPF, Villarreal Community Police Forum? Who is running that group? I think this thing, we're not going to solve the problem for crime, because this VCPF became a family business. People, they run patrol. They are very good in typing in the group. But when it comes to patrolling, they will send the likes of Port Tyrone, Peter, California, all those people. But when it comes to patrolling, they run patrol. Another thing is the cables that we as community that are complaining about. The funny thing about it, we are complaining about the cable theft every day. But we know where they sell those cables. Are we going to solve this problem? I don't think so. We know where they sell these things. We once arrested this other Zimbabwean boy last year. I think it was me, Peter Mpo, and Mabute in California. We arrested him. After 2 weeks, we saw him in the street. And again, when we patrolled there by that side of taxi rank, when we were busy patrolling, we saw the cable, electric cables like this size. Obviously, they stole it maybe somewhere here. But the question is, where did they get them, and why do they sell to those people? Why these scrapyards are not getting closed? So we're not going to solve this problem. We're going to spin around and no solution. Thank you, Councillor.
Thanks, Tyrone. Positive contributions, and we'll touch on that later.
Thank you. Chairperson, through you, just before I ask my questions, there are 2 new members there that have not been introduced. Maybe just hear where they are from.
I think it's the divisional head for electricity, Nomsa Mabasa, and who's the other one that came later?
Can't see through the sunglasses.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Mochiza, divisional head for energy, for the energy planning in the city, or for the supply of the primary network, which was Kurusport, but also we work closely with the operational team to deal with the problem as such.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Khavi Mokank. I've got a vested interest in this area, Silverton, Leeuwfontein, Kameelfontein, so regions 3 and 5. We've heard the previous speaker on the demarcation. This is part of region 3, but we've got the very same challenges in region 5. Okay? I've got the privilege of working with the department on a daily basis with Tshwane Electricity. And NMC, with respect, if I may say, your speech did not provide any answers. We are here for answers. We're not here for explanation on what happened. We are here to find out how that's going to be fixed, when, by who, and is it going to be done right. You said you don't have time to answer the questions raised by Councillor Pinar. I think we've got time. All of us, we've got time. We need answers to those questions. Those budget questions pertaining to ring feed lines, upgrade of existing lines and substations, because those are what's causing the problems. We all understand the IDP. The IDP is a public document. We understand budgets. We know that budget has been allocated for those items, but they're not being used for that. And I want to agree with the previous speaker. In the event that contractors are appointed, we need to know how have they been appointed, are they capable, have they got a track record, are we going to have this problem again or not? I'm not going to sugarcoat this MMC, because I think this is the root of the problem. There's a challenge in your department. You need to acknowledge that. If you then acknowledge that, like any problem in life, you'll never solve it. There's a challenge. Every outage in this region and region 5, it takes 2 to 3 days for the fault finding team to go to ground. 3 days without power before they start with fault finding. Then, when they find the locality of the fault, it's another 2, 3, 4 days to find a cherry picker or a TLB or an excavator. Challenge with equipment, logistical challenges. When they dig the hole and they find the problem, another 2 to 3 days waiting period to getting materials, cables, transformers, mini-subs. And then we've heard you on servitudes, MMC. The servitudes are all documented. They are on your GIS system. I can show you how to use it. They know exactly where the pipes are. They don't have to tread carefully when they dig the holes. In short, everybody, I'm not going to labor the points. There's a lack of maintenance. There's a lack of planning. There's a lack of quick reaction. Response time is terrible. And there might be a lack of skill. Let's face it. Let's be honest about it. Why do we appoint private contractors if there's no lack of skill? MMC, we need an emergency plan, an emergency strategy. That's why what a good authority will do in a case like this. You've heard from the community, it's unprecedented. You treat it like a normal challenge. 15 days, some areas 20 days in region 5. Leeuwfontein, Kameelfontein, 20 days. You think that's normal? There's no emergency strategy in your department to address things like this. And I know why. Because you don't regard electricity as an essential service. And I agree with you. It is not. In terms of the Systems Act, the Structures Act, your bylaws, it's not. But you know what? The areas rely on water through electricity. Water is an essential service. It's linked to each other. You cannot ignore electrical provision as an essential service. So we need a reaction plan, quicker reaction. We need materials to be be available when needed. We need equipment to be available when needed. I think there's one cherry picker in the region 5, and it's broken most of the time. Unacceptable for the largest metropolitan municipality in the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Fabio. I want to add, in addition to what he said in terms of planning, consequence management, and proper oversight, and quality control. That's lacking. Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, my name is David. I live here in Yandimatak. First and foremost, I understand that we don't have anyone from SAPS, but as you guys are here, probably you will convey the message. Last week Friday, as I was driving out of here because we didn't have power, I found people digging cable. I logged the call to 10,111. No one came. No police came. I went to those people to ask them, what are you doing? They just looked at me and no answer. They continued digging, taking advantage because there was no power. They knew that nothing is going to happen to them. After they replaced that power box that got banned. Another question is, what are you doing going forward? Because we are sitting here talking about this, it's still going to happen. If nothing has been done going forward, I assure you, we're still going to come here and talk about the same thing again, 2 or 3 months from now on. All those people that are sitting there in the bush, what's happening with them? Why are those people left to sit there in the bush? Because those are the people that are stealing from us. Those are the people that are stealing everything. They're stealing the cables, they're stealing everything from us, and nothing is happening to them. No one is being arrested. You might call me xenophobic, it's fine. I'm fine with that. You can call me xenophobic. But all these undocumented people, they come here, they steal from us, and nothing is happening from them. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we done on this side for now? Okay. There's one more person in the back there. That's the last one. Then we're going to allow answers. And then we'll move to this side. Thank you. Can you take the mic to her, please? Thank you.
Dumelang, MMC, I don't want to ask a lot of questions that have already been addressed, but I stayed down there by Starbucks. I'm over here. I'm here. Hello, Dumelang. Alimpone, you are looking there, but I'm here. So you see, you're not going to hear what I'm going to ask you, right? Let me do this. They've already addressed a lot of things, but I'm going to ask on top of the maintenance issue. I stayed down there by Starbucks. I have a 2-year-old now, but last year, when she was still being breastfed by me, and a 4-year-old, and a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old boy, I came back from holidays to find my yard full of poop. Shit, cat, food coming out like this. If you go and ask your water and sanitation, they know my house. You don't even have to tell them which house. They know the house because there's a manhole in there. First thing I did, I called a company to come and check what was going on. Immediately that guy walked through the gate. She said, my sister, this is public, it's not yours. And the city of Tshwane will not allow us to open it. You need to call them. I did that. My neighbor already had called on my behalf. They came 2 days later. So you can imagine what happened to me. I'm driving back from Limpopo. I get in. Not only the yard, I had to force the kids to stay in the car. I go in the house is full of those things. Everything. I had to take down from curtains, my electricity is not working, everything. I've got videos of the water coming out like this. Like pads, condoms, shit, going out in the air. In my yard, if you ask the water, they were coming up to here. They were even
to stay with my kids there. But I have to keep on coming back to the house to see if the COT has come. But the guys, they came, they couldn't find any fault. They tried to unlock from 2 houses down. They came again, unblocked from 2 houses down. Eventually, after a week, now, I don't have that much money to stay at the hotel. Remember, schools are open. We're coming back to the house. Girls, boys, come out, we're gonna sleep in the outside room. Now, they come and I had to hire people, right? I called a friend who calls a friend, and then he tells me, listen, I'm gonna get you my brothers from Mamelodi, they come dig. They came, they dig in my yard. They dig in that mess of everything of East Lane. If you're staying in Starbucks Street, you know what I'm talking about. It was stinking in my house. Let me tell you, I had to throw away beds. I had to throw away bargain stands. I had to throw away almost everything. I had to get an electrician to come and fix the plugs that were no longer working. I had to, guys, if I tell you I spent almost over 32,000 fixing that mess, and I'm not talking about the cash that I was giving to the people to come and clean the mess, because the uncle there, 2 houses down, told me, the city of Tshwane is not going to help you. I'm going to tell you now, because I've once went with stormwater and whatever, go buy yourself some, what do you call this? The one we used to clean the pool. I had to go buy buckets, 4 or 25 liters of that, so that someone can come and clean my yard. This is after they took all that mess, bought sand, mixed. Guys, I was staying in poop. That's just how lightly to put it. But I spent so much money on that. The reason why I'm saying is going back to the maintenance issue. The last time those guys came, okay, 2 houses down, same thing happened, but luckily for the guys, I think they managed to get the water out into Baviera. So I couldn't do that. My husband is somewhere in Congo, he can't come and assist, he can't fly back here because he's there on work, right? Now, what are you doing to maintain the sewerage also here? Because we can't sit with the same problem. When I saw that happening, it was during June exams or September. I was taking my daughter to school, and I'm like, look, this guy's suffering. This thing is happening. It happened to me in December. Now it's happening 2 houses down. Somebody made a comment in the ESP saying, no, it's all of the people that are staying here. Some don't know you don't have to flush certain things. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I hear that. But what are you doing to maintain? Because when I asked those guys from the city of Tshwane to come in and block, they didn't ask me. They told my sister, we need to bring you. Apparently, there's a thick thing they put there by the main road. I saw them the other day and I'm like, you know, I'm still waiting. It's 9 months down the line. And they told me, there's no budget. So I must I buy it myself. If I buy it myself, you're not going to be taken. Because people are scared to open that main road. They say it's for the municipality. If we touch it, they're going to fine our company. So even today, every time I hear a smell of sewage, I get traumatized. My kids will ask older ones, are we going to be sitting in poop again? Please guys, no, don't want to get sick.
Thank you. I'm just going to allow on some answers, then we'll move to the second side, please. The sewage thing, that just confirms what I said earlier. If you have illegal buildings in your backyard, there's 30 people staying there on an infrastructure that's designed for residential and 4 people. This is what's going to happen. So by law enforcement, building control, those guys needs to come on board, and I've been begging that for 8 years. But anyway, let's allow the officials to, one last little question, but 1 minute please.
We've always got a problem. Because when our street blocked, then all the poo also runs out of my yard. And I've got a manual, I'm staying alone. I mean, I'm single, I'm staying alone there. So I can't say I've got people that's using the toilets or anything. So there is a problem.
Okay, let's try and keep this to electricity, because the officials responsible for this. We can raise it, don't misunderstand. But yeah, water and sanitation. But please, let's try and limit it to the current issue. We will have another meeting, I promise you guys. Okay, thank you.
Greetings. I will just summarize the questions in blocks because some of them to me appeared like they were talking about safety. The first question that I noticed was part of people wanting to know what are the causes of the problem. So as you know, there was a fire in the main station and then it resulted in cascading faults on the networks. You are aware that your substation is also quite old, and as such, the process of repairing it is also taking into account the fact that there must be redundancy and we must leave the network better than what it was. The MMC did talk about the contractor and the internal teams. So what is happening is that the internal team is repairing the old network while the contractor is creating an entirely new network. So what you will end up with will be two networks that allow for backfeeding, which then means that you will have a system that is better than what it was before. Now, a number of people talked about the security issues, which is guarding the networks. What other communities are doing, they are grouping themselves and registering something called a CAPS initiative, which is a community upliftment program where they can then be linked with Metropolis and be able to report these issues directly to securities and Metropolis for speedy resolution. So some communities, like the communities of Vapadrang, have already started that. For the lady who asked who's gonna pay them, it is just a suggestion from myself. And if you visit other communities, you can also see how other communities are playing a role together with Metropolis in safeguarding their own network. It is not a forced thing, but it assists. There was the issue of rooms, back rooms. We will heighten the issue of bylaw enforcement, checking those who have bypassed the bylaws and those who are not paying. We will be visiting this area immediately after this, and we will be doing that together with the councillors and the community leaders. The lady who says she stays alone, but there are problems in her yard, I think we just need to say that some of these water problems do not, if they occur in your yard, it does not necessarily mean that they have originated in your yard. They can be originating upstream, but manifesting in the manhole in your yard. And these are part of what the councillor has explained. The network is built for a specific number of communities, and now we have got a different reality. And what should happen under normal circumstances? If you are converting a house from a residential one to a one where you have got more residences, under normal circumstances, you are supposed to come
and apply for rezoning. When you apply for rezoning, the road person comes and says, as a result of you having 10 more families, this is the impact on the roads. This is the impact on the sewer. This is the impact on the electricity. This is the impact on the walkways. This is the impact on the stormwater. And then the network gets redesigned. But if this happens without coming to the city does not find out until the city stumbles across it. You as residents are also not innocent. You need to report this to say, I am seeing, all right. Let's move on. There is someone who suggested a disaster fund because the issue of the outage for 15 days is unprecedented. So the way the disaster fund works, by the time you get this approval, more likely it will be in March, for those who know. But what I am saying, out of this disaster, your network will emerge stronger than what it was. You will have a duplicated network with a new cable that is being put by a contractor. You will have 4 to 5 new T5s that are put there, and you will have a refurbished transformer in your substation, all feeding you here. And all this is going on, and this is the promise that we have. There's a huge anomaly that people were mentioning that is not true. And this is where I have respect for the lady who had a Freedom Front t-shirt. To say, maybe let's not politicize some of the issues. There isn't a single person who has moved your money to another region. If I tell you on the money for operations, and the councillors know about this, and this way again I have got a second respect for the Freedom Front lady. They know that the monies that come to us for repair, it comes in one kitty. It's not like the CapEx money, which would come out to say, this is the money to fix Velde BS, and it comes with the name Velde BS. This is the money to fix Vapadran, and it comes up with the name for that. The money for the upgrades, the money for maintenance has got no name. We go to the politicians and we prioritize. And the councillor knows that Kudusport, Queenswood, Blesbok, Ferry Glen, Pretoria West, Olivenholt are prioritized for this year. And they know that we are working on this thing to stiffen the power. Then this happened before we could complete this work. And this issue that we have moved the money is not the truth. And I am urging people to know that no money was moved from one area to the other. And this area of yours and the areas I've mentioned have been prioritized. There was an issue of Easteres where the Easteres said they were campaigning for the betterment of their networks. There was a fault at Easteres which involved Nelmapias and the BP line. Fortunately, that was repaired, but we remain open to talk to our communities, and in some cases, there isn't even need to go into the campaign mode. It's just to say that we would want to talk to the municipality on this issue, and the municipality involve themselves. Now there's the issues of pipe of water that has been hit while repairing electricity, and the process that the city does is to avail water tankers to assist on that. There is the issue of the clinic. From what I know, the clinic from here has been connected. There is the issue of the street lights. We agree that more improvement is possible, and we will up our game, starting with the arterial routes where there is a community. And what I can suggest is that let's keep engaging. Let's have a way where we know what's hitting up the community and address these issues without having to be enemies. Because if you are saying you need streetlights fixed, and we agree, and all that we have to say is that this is the budget we have, we think we should start at the roads that are moving the public transport and move towards here and move towards here, and then that is what we implement. And the second thing that we ask is that you be our eyes and ears when things are happening that shouldn't be. And then finally, to allow the members of my team to also come in. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. I just want to let you know that every single street light that has been reported was referred to me and escalated to the regional maintenance teams responsible for street lights, and they're not attending. So I've done my job. Thank you.
Good afternoon, residents of the affected area. Oh, there's a residence. There's a reason why I said the affected area. I didn't want to go to the specifics because all of you, of the outstanding, ma'am, and the council. My name is Tom Muchiza. Some of you, I was with you even last night when we were fixing this cable there, which damaged even your pipeline for water when we were excavating, because the cable is down almost my height to where it is in that fashion for us to expose it. I think there's a question that was asked around what we are doing for the investment, renewable energies, all those stuff. We as the city, we went out on investment drive, and then in line with the prescript of the MFMA, we need to go out to call for proposals for people that can come and invest. That proposals we issued out. It's in the tendering process. It will come out where the private sector will come and give us new alternative energy source for supply our area as the city as a whole, but also is to provide for those who can provide street light and IMAS lights, which are alternative or solar powered, as opposed to those that are empowered by the network alone. So that even when the network is down, you still have got ability to deal with those lights as such. For that process, it will be in the third quarter of now, in the municipal structure or municipal financial year. The third quarter started now to March. We will be able to track it and come back with the process in that fashion. There's an issue, and this was the issue that Dr. Masango raised as such. I think the issue of budget has been raised, that we need to reprioritize our budgets as we move forward to deal with streetlights. As I stand before you this morning from 7:30, we went to war room, service delivery war room. Amongst others that we had to present was the street light maintenance plan for the city, which we then categorize each and every street that we are going to attend to, so that we are able to deal with that. Because as I said, I'll be here at night, and I know how dark it is, and that's why I said on those basis, we're able to present to the mayoral committee, which then will be what they will track our ability to deal with these matters of street lights. We will start arterial roads, then we will come inside our township, because in most cases you'll find that we target arterial roads, then the people who are naughty, they move from arterial roads inside, they start robbing in your township, and that's why we need to deal with it that fashion. The issue relating to, there was a question that at Kudu Sport, where the equipments, how, where, and all those stuff. I was here on the 26th when that fire happened. We then sought materials, put the team together, and asked the contractor to ask us with the TLB for excavations. Your boxes that are there that have been put in are put by the City of Tshwane, no contract. The cable that were laid there, they were laid by the City of Tshwane, no contract. For everything that at the substations has been done by ourselves, because we needed to have an interim. I must emphasize this. What we did at Kudu Sport, it's an interim solution. It's an interim solution because we needed to bring our people electricity back. The long term is that we must refurbish that substation to its old glory. We're with the councillor and all the stuff on that side. And that we are targeting to start now in the quarter 3 to deal with that as we move forward as such. That's why you see even on the main road where the contractor is excavating for the alternative cable, we then said they must excavate that side and leave this inside to our teams, so that we can then have a multi-pronged approach to resolve the problems in that fashion. At the end of the day, there's been a lot of abnormals that have stayed long, that were supposed to be fixed. I think the member of the committee raised it, that some of these things are historical. Why has it taken long? In that fashion, and that's why we then said we need to reprioritize our budget to ensure that we provide for the redundancy that is required. On the issue of illegal connections, I think I'm here. I would want, I know that you said you've sent that communication to some upper echelon somewhere. Yeah. And you will meet with me. I'm going to go and visit that Tanzania, and we'll rip it out the way we do how the Tshwane has been doing to disconnect all other areas that are found to be not in compliance. The 2000 is not a fine. I can tell you, if I find you illegal connectors as a resident, your connections, your fines is run on the 49,000. For this 2,000, it means that somebody was playing buddy with that person. And that's what we need to deal with. And that's why with the bylaw enforcement, we'll then be able to deal with it and ensure that we deal with it. The illegal connections, fines, we find you in your household, it's 49,000 as a minimum. Second, again, we open a case. Third, we rip the cable so you can't even connect yourself in that fashion. But that's why I said we'll attend to it. I'll get that information to deal with it. I think there's an issue related to communications and what we have been saying, or whether it's the old age infrastructure that has caused this problem. In the 2 days which I was attending to the two mini subs that are here cables. I get shocked to find some of the cables when we excavate it. In this street down here, you find that the cable is laid in a manner that even when you want to excavate it, you are either going to damage the stormwater drainage. And we know that that stormwater drainage was put after the cable was laid. Because as I look at the age of the cable, I see that somebody in the same city, which talks to the planning, that you must plan as one. You can't have a scenario like that. Similarly, when you damage the water there, you can't have a water pipe in the same space with the electricity cable. And that's why we said there are issues that we must be able to correct, Councillor, to deal with that in that fashion, so that we can deal with this issue. I think the issue around, because our colleagues, MMC will just talk to it on the water issues. I think the mayor will attend to it. It's not an issue that we must leave unattended. The same water team report to the same MMC. For we must be able to attend to the water problem in the same way. But we have taken it so we can highlight it with the Group Head for Water and Sanitation Business Unit to say this can be continuously happening in that fashion as such. Now let me address the issue of why the cherry pickers issues. The city planned to procure 100 cherry pickers and spread them across. By November, we delivered, we got 81. End of November, 81. By end of December, to be exact, by the 15th of December, we had additional 7 delivered, which take us to only 12 out of the 100, which are budgeted for by corporate fleet. Corporate fleet budgeted for 100, they've delivered 100 minus 12. The only 12, only 4 are scheduled for January, 6 for February, and 2 for March. Then we'll have got all the 100 fleet of the cherry pickers to attend to these street lights that were told that during the day the street lights are on, at night the street lights are off. In that fashion. Therefore, we need to change how we do business. Lastly, before I call my other colleagues, when the problem happened here, initially we thought the problem was at the substation at Kudusport. We fixed the problem at Kudusport. When we were energizing, we realized that the entire network has been blown underneath. For we then had to send the team. That's why there's a question to say, no, why it's taken long for the team to locate the fault? Because you then need to spike each and every cable to understand where the problems are. And in that process, we then realized that we had 19 of these mini subs or that were faulty. And then we had to attend to them as we move that fashion, as such. And we, again, then had to put what we call a crisis electricity outage committee, chaired by the person who spoke before me, my boss. And that committee meets every day at 100 hours or at 3 o'clock afternoon, and it takes stock of what is happening, what needs to be done, what material are required, all those stuff, and what we need to unlock in that fashion. Therefore, the intention is that we then, after we realize that this thing is not a normal outage, we activated a crisis committee to then deal with these aspects in that fashion as such. I think I will leave it here for others to engage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was.
All your ministers, are they supposed to have protection on when they have search?
That's why I said through you, the councillor. We then found out that something wrong at the substation. You know, can you listen? Can you listen? Can you listen? Can you listen? Remember the problem, the fault must happen where the fault, when we found that the fire happened that side. We then had to check why has the fault stayed long across the network. In each and every minister, what has happened, what went wrong. You asked for a technical report in that aspect, and we then said to the team, that report must be done by the testing and protection team. So it give an independent view outside of the operators of the network as to what went wrong, so that we then correct the mistake of what happened. If of the 19 mini-subs that keep on going down, why were they not protected? What happened? Why the fault went to the network across in that fashion? That aspect is an issue that is ongoing in that fashion. I can leave it that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think that was very constructive and informative. Thank you, sir. I'm going to allow the NMC before we take more questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer fewer questions, precisely two questions. And before I answer it, let me also indicate that as councillors, I'm also a councillor. We are elected to serve the people, to serve you. We are elected to ensure that we solve your problems. That is why when I was talking, and in my speech that you highly criticize, I have indicated that we take accountability. And I was frank about it. And I just also want to clarify that there was a comparison between the people who were protesting and the residents of East Lane and Young Women's Park. So I wanted to clarify it because I thought the councillor who is the chairperson should have clarified to you that when I was preparing to come to address you, at the time when I was available, unfortunately you were not there. I came with the councillor to that place, and on that day I was prepared to come and address you. So the councillor will explain. I don't want to explain. The other things that I must explain to you is that in my speech I indicated that by Sunday, by the 15th, the 11th, no, by the 11th, all the powers will have been restored to all the customers. Unless if we have got serious challenges, unforeseen challenges. That's the target date, and that's the date that you have been saying you want to hear about it. The other issue that I want to also explain, people which I've also raised in my speech, that your food is rotten, and I want to also advise you that in the municipality we have got a policy. You can claim, just go to our walk-in center, you'll be given the forms to complete, and you'll take it from there. So we have got a way of claiming. So instead of saying it, just saying it in the meeting, just take your time, visit to the municipality and put up your claim. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MMC. Just before we continue, I can confirm. I met the MMC on Monday after the community dispersed, but that was a bit late. So he was in fact on site. It was just that it was late. Thank you. MMC officials, shall we continue? Okay, that's not fine. All right. We'll take I'm going to ask that we take another 6 questions and then we close off. I think it's all basically answered unless you've got a question that has not been raised. So let's give the first person an opportunity. We've already done this side, so we're going that side. Please.
Thank you. My name is Rina Davis. 9 years ago, I went to the Northern Cape and we had the same kind of problem here. I'm back here since a year ago. And it's still the same thing. Now my question to you, MMC, is 34 years ago, we were very excited when we appointed a democratic government. The democratic government got a running country. A country that had everything in place. A country that only had to be maintained and then identified which areas. And your questions or your explanations about how it was not possible to find out that if it started here, it's going to jump there, it's going to jump there. Any person, I'm a skills development expert, any person, and I am almost finished with my NKF 9 qualification. So being a skills development person, if you take a person who's say a technical person on N6 should read from a plane, and say, okay, we had a problem here. Then we thought X, Y, Z. So we started moving, but then we had a surprise. It jumped here, it jumped there, it jumped there. Quickly. What does it tell me? It tells me my plan doesn't make sense. So at that stage, 15 days ago, you should have, or 14 days ago, you should have called the specialist to re-look at the plan. Pardon me. Now, any person, and I worked across 3 seaters, and what is now the School of Government. I was part of developing systems. Any system. We're talking about the electricity system, the sanitation system, etc., etc. Everything that we spoke about today is systems. Any system that you design that system with an early warning system. The early warning system should have warned you guys. I want to know, MMC, Your Honorable, I want to know who is in charge of the maintenance, who has been in charge of the maintenance for 34 years, and who is in charge of the early warning system, because those 2 people need to be fired. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're moving to that side. Just on the systems, there are systems in place. I don't think they're functional, so we need to look at that. So we're going to do those. The gentleman in the blue shirt there. Where's the other one? let's take 6 people to the front, please. All 6 that's going to ask questions. This gentleman, you can come and stand there, please.
Councillor, just to keep this meeting very short and not prolong it, because at the end of the day you will find yourself seated alone because people are going out. I want us just to be constructive and a way forward. The city of Tshwane give us the contact details of all the departments for maintenance. When we experience a problem in terms of street lights, whom to contact the direct person, the sewage, whom to contact the direct person, because of with the look of things is rhetoric now. We are just circulating around one issue as a way forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Is there anyone else? So these are the last 3 speakers that will ask questions. Then we close it. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, so it's 4. Apologies. Right. We continue with you.
Goeiemôre almal. Good day everyone. My name is Petrus van der Westhuizen. I'm an old councillor, but I'm also the leader of the African Christian Alliance, Afrikaner Christen Alliantie. I must thank first the council, what they've done so far. I was with them from day one. I get no pay, but I work with them. Some of the people who must go to the straight point of working was on leave. One people was Johan, and there's only 2 people in Tshwane who can do that job. The one is, the city is divided in 2. One is more Centurion to the far side, other side of Pretoria North, and the other one worked this side to Bronkhorstspruit. So the one was on leave, and when Johan come back, he pinpoint direct where was a problem, and they call the back actor, but the back actor was already there for a previous water problem. And also there, they dig into a problem to break also another cable. But that is not real, the problem. This community is more than 60 years old. So the electricity cables are 60 years old. And the old time, when they fix a cable, the fixing is like a half meter long. And then they put tar inside that fixing problem. When the problem at the substation occurred, then the tar go into the cables and that burn also. So the problem is all that small problems what they have in the past must now correctly, and that is why there are 19 of them. And what they mean is they shoot actually the cable with a special equipment that it seems like a detonator to see if there is, after they have opened it with the back actor, they must go and shoot it into, see if they can work on the cable, and after that they must test it back and then in front to see how they can fix it. So the cable is one problem. And another problem is here. We are, this community, and I'm part of this community, are not the wealthiest people in Tshwane. And there is no hub for in this place where they can report the problem. We have a smart city.
Please, this is open for questions.
1 minute.
Let's leave the information to the officials.
1 minute. So we need a hub here where we can report these problems directly, not going to Pretoria City or Eersteres. So we need a hub here. A hub here. We need a hub here. We need a hub here in Eastland. And particularly, we need a hub here in Eastland. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's not take over the officials' responsibilities or strictly questions here, please.
My name is Payalu. I live in Eersteres, one of the most marginalized areas in this city. My problem is this. I live in a street named Villages Avenue. For more than 6 months, there's only one street light working. And we have been your ears and your eyes. We have reported it, and it is 6 months later, and the only light that is working in that street is the light in front of my gate, because I planted it in my yard. I put up a solar light, and that's the only working light in Villages Avenue. That's the first thing. I had to export my wife for the last 7 days to take her to a place where there's electricity, because she's 24/7 on an oxygen machine. I ran out of money to fill oxygen machines 3 times a day. Now I have to drive to visit her and come back. But my question, and then I'm done, because this is becoming now a talk show. My question is this, and I want everybody to think about it. If you are without lights for 10 days, why doesn't it reflect on your water and lights bill? Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's a very good question. Thank you so much. Sir, I mean no disrespect, but we are taking questions now. Thank you.
Hello community, my name is Beauty. I'm residing in Deltaport. I heard the MMC saying we are going to be back on Sunday the 11th. My question is, in our areas, some of areas here in Eastland, we were on. Why are we off? Today morning, the electricity went off. We want to ask, why are we being off again? And we were not. Ours came on the 1st of January. Then we pushed. We were just sorry for those who didn't have. But my question is, why are we being off? What is the issue in our area? Because I don't know, or must we wait for the 11th also, or I don't know.
Thank you. I think in short, if they want to work on a network that's also affecting your electricity, they have to isolate the line. That's why you're off. But I think the officials will also confirm that.
Good day, everyone, and the officials. I hope you are still listening to us. MMC, my name is Lynne. I stay in Yanimarta for 25 years. Before I pose my 3 questions, I would just like to take a moment to thank the councillors who were here, which is Councillor Pina and Councillor Elaine. Those were the 2 people that I saw, along with our admins. I don't know if Ina is here. Ina and Melinda. There were other admins. Marlies. I have not seen any other councillor. I don't know where they're popping up now. So I think they should just step back and leave it to the councillors that were on the ground. Councillor Pina came to our house. I said I'm going to come here and not raise my blood pressure. Unfortunately. Okay. Here are my questions. MMC, you said the power may come on Sunday. This is not a rich community. People are suffering. Until Sunday, what are you putting in place for those people who are still sitting without power? They have needs. They are the poorest of the poor, some of them. What are you going to and you need to answer them before you leave here. I've been working for government for more than 30 years. You owe us an answer. That's my first question. Then you spoke about claims. Then you said go to a walk-in center where we know your people are rude and incompetent. They treat us like gunk. Let's just put it there. So can you please bring that process here? People do not have transport, not everyone. So can you bring that process here and go to people? There are people of old age, there are people who doesn't have their own transport. Now you expect the people, once again, to use their money to go to your walking centers where they will be treated like shit. Please bring that process here. And please make it a fair process. We have incurred expenses. We have bought ice. I'm one of the fortunate people who's got a credit card, whether it's paid off or not. There are people who didn't even have that. So what are you doing for them? Bring that process here and make it a real process. Do not sit there and say go to a walk-in center. Bring your process here and give people money back. Give the people the money back. Yes, I am in procurement. I know you can deviate. There's emergency processes. You can do that easy peasy. One thing I can tell all of you here, I work for national government. Government always have money. But you know where the money goes? Into the pockets. I think those are my questions. Thank you, Council.
Thank you for the constructive input. Yes, I agree. Let's bring community outreach to deal with this. So if we can get the social guys to come here and assist with the application.
The cable theft. Why must we go to the police? Why must we incur the expenses to go to the police? Why can't you guys just come if it was escalated and come fix that cable? That cable doesn't belong to Mandy here. It doesn't belong to Freddie Peanut. It belongs to the city of Tshwane. Fix your damn cables. We fix our houses. We maintain our houses.
Last speaker. Last one, thank you.
Afternoon. So my question or my request is more the lady that spoke about the extended houses and external people staying more than 4. You mentioned that you are going to go there and you will have a look. My request is they cannot go alone. We need our own people to go with them. Because tomorrow, we don't know if they're going to take a bribe or not. Like we said, they paid 2,000 rand fines. We want our own people, our own councillors to go with you. We want a specific date where you will visit these people, these houses, to say, on this date we are going and we will come with you. We want to see what happens. Because in 2 weeks, 2 days, the same thing will happen. Because they pay bribes. Anything can be bought here. Anyone can be bought. As long as there's money, anything can happen.
Thank you. I agree. We need a joint operation with the Metro Police, bylaw enforcers, the fire department, the health department, building control, all of them, please, to be here. So we can deal with this as a collective. I think that concludes everything. There's one person that still, you raised the question that was not answered, so please just ask.
Yes, MMC, I think is a gentleman in the middle, is responsible for the accounts. We want to know, there's people that needs to pay today. Can we put it on hold? Because we don't have money. And they will cut our electricity. We need to pay now. You need to put something in place and say, guys, wait till there's a report coming out, because there needs to be a report. I appreciate the gentleman on the left. He gave us some report there. But I believe if a power station burn, there should be a reason for that. Whether it's what you call, there's too much many power feeding, overloading. Those things need to to be addressed by a task team that needs to come in and see. Because Metro Police need to be on the ground to get those cable guys, arrested them and make a case. There's people that come in, if tonight they will cut the electricity, the cables tonight. But nothing, there's nothing that happens to them. Tomorrow we set with electricity again. Guys, give me an answer on that. We want to pay, but we already spent 5,000 rand on meat, whatever, and the plugs and what is it? The fridges is gone. We have to go and borrow. We have to go and borrow money to pay a fridge. That's the expenses that we have. Give an answer on that thing, on the accounts.
Thank you. I think to summarize, we need clarity on the claim process. What can people claim? What do they need to claim? Can we have an outreach here to assist? Social department, all of them. It's questions. So it's not forcing anyone to do something, but it's just to assist the community.
What about the account?
If I haven't got the slips, what ask me to?
That's part of the question. So if they don't have a slip to prove, can they use a bank statement or whatever the case may be? Okay, that's going to close it, unfortunately, guys. Last one. We've got 30 seconds. Okay.
Thank you, community. Thank you, councillors, for taking your time out to come and address us. Yes, we are not very happy with what's happening. Being 12 days without electricity is not the walk in the park. I just want to ask the councillors, is there a difference between Waverley and Eastland? Because if you go to the parks and recreational facilities, it's clean, they are cutting all over. But go to our parks, the tractor is just running across and outside, they become a house for the people to stay in. So really, we want to know, and I know the rates and tax is higher on the either side, but we also pay rates and tax. So please look into that. So we in Eastland, we really need to get involved in the community policing. Accountability and responsibility is very important. We can't keep on shifting the blame. There's a group that's functioning. The people of the CPF are using their time, their vehicles to patrol in the evening, in the airtime. But let me be the judge of this. You had your opportunity, can I say? So please, let's get involved, community policing, and then we look into it. We can't keep on shifting the blame to the councillors, to municipality. Let's also try from our side to do something. Please, guys, we are going back again. You see, we are all here together. So we need to be constructive and ask ourselves, are we going to call this meeting again? To have this again without us doing nothing? Let's reach out and care for each other. Really, we know it's not nice being here. And we have a lot of people who are poor, poorest of the poorest in Eastland. And that's why I want to add on. Can't we look into a payment, how that people can be accommodated? Because the money that you were supposed to use for electricity, they bought paraffin, they bought gas, they bought ice, and as human beings, please reconsider that. I thank you.
Just in response to Waverley, I can confirm that there's a lot of community organizations working together parallel with the city. So they're not getting special treatment. We as a community, we also need to start working together, and this is the start now. So I'm going to close this off. Okay, I'm going to ask the last question, and that's asked by the general community. What if the lights are not on by the 11th? So that's going to close it, guys. Unfortunately, we're limited in time, so I'm going to allow the last session of answers. and then we're going to close the session. But before that, I want to thank the officials and the MC. I know I've been harsh on you, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, MMC. Sir, I am thanking you, and you're not listening to me. So thank you for being here. Thank you, and officials as well. I really appreciate it. I'm going to hand over to the officials to answer the last questions, and then we're going to close off. Councillor Florence Smith as the host, or the second host. Ward Councillor will be closing, and then we can all disperse. Thank you very much.
On the question of treating Ware Valley and East Lane differently, that would not be the policy of local government. The policy of local government aims to bring equitable services to all. But where people feel that some communities are neglected, they can raise that through their councillors, they can raise that with the directors of the region, and then we can attend to that. Because in anything there will be corrective actions that are needed. So there was a question as to whether people must still pay for the services for this month. Remember what you pay for is split into services which you consume and then the fixed charges. The fixed charges unfortunately remains regardless because that relates to services like parks, clinics, etc. that we use. And as for the variable charge, if you haven't used the water, then you can't pay for water. Same for electricity. And you can see this well if you're prepaid. If your power is off, then you can't recharge. And then there were issues of constructive suggestion to say that maybe the government must come to the people as it relates to claims. I think we'll take that back to other people to say that there is this request. I think that has got a way forward that brings happiness to all. And now I think in line with that is the people saying maybe instead of is there like a regional structure where people should report to? I think when you are here, if this is Region 6, so there are regional offices that I know you know about where you do report all these issues. Street light issue was repeated, and then the person who also said it mentioned that he has got his own solar in his own house. Fortunately, the municipality will also be going through solar street lights rollout, which maybe might reduce the level of theft that is happening. Now, there was also a very valid question about one member who said their power was on and then it went off again. So the way we are working, you find that we reach a certain point where the line which is faulty, which was feeding the people, were off, and the line which is healthy, which is feeding you, it's moving at the same line. So you can't allow the guy to dig on the same servitude as a lifeline. So as a way of preserving life to the tractor driver, we say let's switch it off when you are digging there, even if one line is not faulty. So just as we pass that point where they share the common area, then we can then switch them back. We are not saying that everyone will come back on the 11th. Some people will come before then, between today and tomorrow, because work is proceeding. We are saying the 11th is the cutoff that we've given ourselves, that everyone should be back. You have also realized that there were people who were off yesterday but are on today. which shows to the nature of the living nature of the project of energizing you. And now you did mention that you really don't want to be police. I think we were just suggesting to say that some communities are starting to take ownership of their infrastructure. They're starting to organize themselves. The same way as we are doing patrols, they are also teaming up with metropolis to speed up issues of reporting anomalies. But it's just a community consciousness. It's not something that people say you have to do it. I know where one of my friends stays in the block, they actually almost have a fully fledged police operation. So if you are moving around with a ship, they stop you and say, please, where did you buy this ship? How much was it? Where are you taking it? And if you don't have papers, they arrest you there. But then there are other areas where it's mangle moose. Ye do nas ye like. And then it also depends on the part of that. But it's just a suggestion. Thank you. As residents go back to what? All right. So what happens is there is network that is on the street, which is a government network. And this network that comes into your house, that is regarded as your network. Remember when you have got a fault, there are some times where we say, here you need a private electrician, and here it's municipality. So where was this stolen? Was it in the street?
Cable.
Cable in the street.
Yes.
That feeds many people.
Anything outside a person's property is the property of the city of Tshwane. That's their responsibility.
Services our responsibility. Your task is to report that it's stolen. There's a poll number X. That's it. The rest you must take it up in that fashion. Therefore, we will address the aspects because it's an attitude. I think it's an attitude. It goes back to what you raised, man, about you go to walk-in center, you find disrespectful people in that fashion. Therefore, it's an attitude issue which we just need to ensure that they live with the principle of what to be centered in that fashion. As such, yeah. I think that that's what we'll deal with, and the maintenance of the parks and all the stuff. I think we take it as a part of the concern you are raising, so that we can take it up to our other colleagues who are responsible for maintenance of parks and recreational facility for our kids. In that fashion, you
you could see when I was trying to get in here, you could see even here the type of grass. But I guess because we are from a festive, from Monday, the schedule of ensuring that we are able to maintain them, we will take care of it in that fashion. But like I said, I can speak from electricity, but we will take that to the team that deal with the maintenance of our facilities to ensure that at least we have got a space where our kids can play without being worried of what will come from that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Guys, we are closing now, but one final thing, and that's very important, MMC and officials, the backfilling and rehabilitation of the area, will that be done by the city? Okay, that's confirmed. Thank you. The next meeting, can we expect a quarterly meeting? Monday. Not Monday. I will arrange a quarterly meeting between myself and Councillor Franz Smith and the other affected communities, so we'll have it here at all. That will be announced through the Speaker's office. We'll expect all the officials to attend so they can give feedback. Then noted. Okay, so that will be preferably after hours or over the weekend. I will arrange it as such. Okay. Thank you. With that being said, that closes this meeting. I'm going to ask, please, just remain seated for a while. Just Councillor Smith to close off the meeting. I thank everybody for attending, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.
Friends, we have been here this morning. Friends, we have been here this morning. We started off with a prayer, but we asked for wisdom. So we asked the residents that we've listened to their complaints, and we asked the officials to help us to solve the problems. So we sent them back home with all the questions that we've raised here. We just want to thank everybody present, also the officials. Thank you very much, MMC and your personnel. So, and also the program manager, Freddie. So we hope you a well-blessed weekend, and we want you to travel safely. Thank you very much. Thank you.